If this is what a first-person game looks like, and this is what a third-person video game looks like, what exactly would second-person look like? Most 3D character-driven video games can be pretty easily placed into one of two categories, either first-person or third-person. In a first-person game, you see the game world through the actual eyes of the player character as though you were that character, and in a third-person game, you see the player character from the outside, often from behind their back or from a fixed isometric perspective. But the existence of these two perspectives begs a question. If this is what a first-person game looks like, and this is what a third-person video game looks like, what exactly would second person look like?
Yo, what's good? This the Mad Gamer back with another one. On this episode, we're going to take the chance to look at second person.
Introducing the world's first second person shooter.
And this one from The Onion.
To enter second-person shooter mode, you just simply adjust the narrative slider from first to second.
You are walking down a long corridor. Suddenly, a Nazi leaps out from around a doorway and unleashes a hail of machine gun fire in your direction.
So in this part, he actually explains what a second-person game is, and actually an example of it. Check this out. It's gonna be mind-blowing.
One mission in particular that I swear to God I think about all the time. The mission in question is called The Target, and it's the final mission of Chapter 6 of the game. Now the mission begins as normal with Tanner and his partner Jones driving their iconic orange Dodge Challenger, and soon enough you warp into Ordell's body with Layla in the passenger seat where she gives you some clarity on your mission.
Yo, this joint is crazy. Watch this, y'all.
So you drive to the destination she's given you, closing in on your target, and as you get close, this happens.
Slow down. We should acquire the target anytime now. The yellow Dodge, up ahead. Stay close, but don't be obvious.
That's my car.
What? That's the cop that's been getting in our way.
Do we follow him to the target?
He is the target.
It's you. You've been assigned to kill you. Now, after that cutscene ends, you are back in Ordell's body in the first person with Layla sitting to your right. But then, you press the throttle to accelerate, and the car in front of you moves. You steer to the left and to the right, and the car in front of you moves to the left and then to the right. And then quickly, it sinks in that the car you're controlling is actually the car you're following. Your perspective as the player is entirely separate. Moves to the left and then to the right. And then quickly...
So did y'all get that? You're playing this car, that second person. That second person right there. So you're playing this car, but somebody else is, looking at you. That is wild. So you're not playing the driving car, you're playing the little orange car. Jesus.
A controlled driver who's tailing the car you're actually controlling. It's basically like a chase mission in any other video game, just like you've seen countless other times, except for this time, it's flipped on its head. This time, you're the one being followed while simultaneously seeing it all unfold from the perspective of the car doing the following.
So, in a nutshell, that second person explained. You know me, I'm not a big fan of first person. I'm more of a third person guy. But second person, Jesus, this shit was just mind blowing. It's kind of like, I don't know if y'all ever seen a 4D game. Let me show y'all.
Before I continue, let me explain something first. So say you are this 2D character and you need to get to the other side.
I know it's hard to follow, but check this out. Mind blowing.
This 2D character and you need to get to the other side. Let me explain something first. So say you are this 2D character and you need to get to the other side of that wall, but you can't jump over it, and well, that's about it. But what if there was more to this world? What if the world was actually 3D and you were just a 2D flat character that could only move inside a 2D plane? You could go past that wall by just sidestepping it, but how do you do that since you're stuck on a plane? So you press a button to turn sideways, and now when you're moving left and right, it doesn't mean the same thing. It actually means moving along the third dimension. So you take a few steps and you press the button again to face the original way, but now you're in a parallel world that is further along the third dimension, So the wall is not in front of you anymore, it's off to the side, and you can walk right past it. You can notice that some rubble must have fallen off the wall in the third dimension also. You turn sideways and take a few steps to get back to the world you came from and turn back. Okay, but this little 2D character is only 2D, so unlike us, he can't see the third dimension. So what does he see when he turns sideways? He might think the world is deforming, but it's just what it would look like if you took 2D slices of a 3D object, like images produced by an MRI machine, for example. The world isn't changing, it's just being seen from different directions. So when he's further along the third dimension, down in the desert world, he can't see the wall, but he can see the rubble. And from the sideways perspective, he can move across worlds back into the grass world. But back to figure problems. What if the world actually had 4 dimensions, but we could only see 3? In other words, what if we were living on a 3D plane inside a 4D world? So you press a button to turn sideways. And now, when you're moving this way, it doesn't mean the same thing it used to mean. It actually means moving along the 4th dimension. So you take a few steps, and you press the button again to face the original way, but now you're in a parallel world that's further along the 4th dimension. So the wall is not in front of you anymore, but off to the side, and you can walk right past it. And you can notice that some rubble must have fallen off the wall in the 4th dimension. You turn sideways, and take a few steps to get back to the world you came from, and turn back. And this is how you walk through walls.
So there we go, y'all. 4D games and second-person games explained. I haven't ever seen a full game in second person or 4D, but this game, Mega Cure, is a 4D game. So I don't know if y'all want to check it out. A little mind-bending to me. But yeah, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.